Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings upon you all. Dear students, today we're going to deal with an overview of J2me, and also we'll learn how to make our first J2me project in the NetBeans. Okay, so are you ready? So put your sleeves up and just have a fun. So what is J2me? It's a Java 2 micro edition. Okay, it's actually for Java's platform for developing applications for mobile devices, or maybe some, like we have PDAs, we have pagers, we have mobile phones, PDAs, car navigation systems, internet appliances, or set-top boxes. So this is a whole range of devices which have the limited features than your like laptops and all. Okay, then we need to use J2me. We basically have, if you talk of J2me, say for example this is our J2me, the domain of J2me, right? And but there's a lot of things which is common with the J2SE, and there is even many things common with the J2EE. So we got basically the platform like J2EE, and this is my J2SE, and you could see here that there are a lot of things which are common, okay, like this portion. So J2me needs a lot of things which have to be which is common to the J2SE, which are we say that they are upward compatible, like we have Java .lang package, Java.io package, or like that. But here we have also the things which are not in our J2SE. They are specific to the J2me, like javax.micro edition package or the midlet packages. They all belong to the J2me, right? So J2me basically has an architecture, layered architecture. So let's discuss that layered architecture now. Okay, before I go to the layered architecture, let me tell you that J2EE, which I was talking about, Java 2 Enterprise Edition, is used for business applications, enterprise application. You can develop in J2SE, the standard edition. You can develop like applications for PC. Okay, in J2me, a Java 2 micro edition, you can develop, we have already discussed these things like mobile phones, PDAs and all. So now this is the whole bunch of platform here. As you could see, this is the whole this whole thing belong to the Java, whether this is J2EE here, or this is the J2SE here, or it is the J2me, this part is J2me, or we got the Java card technology. Okay, now then, as you could see, to run our J2EE or J2SE, we need a Java virtual machine, right? As we discussed in the class also about the JVM. But in case of J2me, either we can have a KVM or CVM, depending upon what kind of devices you are running and whether you are having CLDC or CDC based configurations. So basically we have we have a layered architecture. If I show it only for the J2me, now in a layered architecture, first thing is we got your host OS. Say for me, this is your host operating system, whatever the OS you have. On the top of the OS, the layer what we have is the configurations layer. So we have here the configurations layer, and configurations layer is the one which has all the core functionality, configurations layer and all. Then we have the profiles layer. In this we have the profiles layer, and after that we got other packages. So in this we have got other packages. So we got 3 layers. So the configurations layer here, as you could see here, in this configurations layer, basically we deal with either CLDC type devices or CDC type devices. So we have CLDC, it could be CLDC, or it could be CDC type devices. Okay, now CLDC means connected limited device configuration, and CDC is the connected device configuration for set-top boxes and all. And if you have PDAs or mobile phones, you'll be using CLDC. Okay, and depending on your configurations, so is it CLDC or CDC based, our virtual machine in the configurations is also different, as shown in the picture. As you could see here, if we have the CDC based configurations, then we need CVM, we have CVM in it. But if we have CLDC based configurations, then we have kilobyte virtual machine, otherwise we have connected virtual machine. And the profiles layer also we have here is, for example, we've got a mid-P based profile, or we've got a Dojo profiles. This profile is actually for the Docomo based mobile phones, we have the Dojo profile. But the most famous one is the mid-P, which is adapted by many companies like Samsung, Siemens, and all companies. That's a mid-P profile. Okay, that's called mid-P, mobile information device profiles. And if you go to CDC type, they have got a foundation profile, and on the top is a personal profile. And then here on the top will be the other packages. We can have like messaging packages, while like advanced networking packages, and like that. Okay, and if you could see here in the J2me or J2SE, we have Java virtual machine which runs them, and which converts the bytecode to the machine code. You know that thing already. So here we've got optional packages also on the top of that. So if we talk of connected limited device configurations, right, then we have a lot more things which are not in a CLDC based devices, which we have seen, which were in the J2SE based platform. We do not have here in the J2me. Like we don't have floating points, but we have added up in the CLDC 1.1 later on. But the basic CLDC, in the basic CLDC, we don't have these. What I mean is CLDC 1.0, you do not have floating point or finalize, or you have got thread groups. You don't have a thread group here, so it doesn't support thread groups, such as the thread operations, such as starting and stopping a thread, can be applied to individual thread objects only, not to the group. Okay, and also the Java native JNI Java native interface is not supported by the KVM, but it is supported by the Java virtual machine, but not by the KVM. Similarly, the reflections and weak references, they are not being supported by the CLDC based devices. And now reflections is something where you actually inspect the number of contents of classes. I mean, say you got objects or methods or fields or threads. There are a lot of things in your class. Okay, you can have object, you can have method, you can have fields, you can have threads, and various runtime structures in the virtual machine. So reflections actually inspect the number of those features and the contents actually of the class. So these are not supported in the CLDC based devices. You should understand that we have reflections and all these in the J2SE, but not in the J2me in the CLDC based device. But in case of CLDC 1.0, we had a CLDC 1.0, but later on we got CLDC 1.1. The CLDC 1.1 is having a hell lot of features than CLDC 1.0, like floating point operations, were supported by the CLDC 1.1. Error handling, thread objects. So we talk about thread objects here. In 1.1 we have the thread objects, because in case of your CLDC 1.0, you could apply the things on a one thread, not on a group of threads. But now you can do that in a CLDC 1.1. It is as similar as in Java SE. Okay, likewise, we have added features in CLDC 1.1 library, which was not in the CLDC 1.0. There are a lot of things on that. like we have a lot of things, maybe we discuss them later on. Okay, so memory requirements of CLDC 1.0 was something like 160 kbps. You need a 160 kbps, okay, but kilobytes of memory, not ps. So it requires, but in case of CLDC 1.1, you require not 160, rather 192, because it has more to offer, so you need more memory. Okay, more kilobytes, you need 192 kilobytes in case of because in case of CLDC 1.1, because actually you are supporting the floating point operations, so that's why you need more memory. So floating point operations are supported here, right? Now if you talk a little bit about the Doja and the MIDP mobile information device profiles, so the maker of the Doja is the Docomo, and MIDP is definitely the Sun, and it's being adapted by many companies, like we have JPhone, and we have got a lot of foreign companies like LG Telecom, Motorola, Nokia, Siemens, Samsung, Sando. They all are adapting MIDP, but the Doja is the only done by the Docomo. You have to understand that. So if we again have a look on a J2me micro edition platform, we see that in the configurations layer, either you got a CLDC based or you got CDC based. And it's a CLDC, connected limited device configuration. It's actually used for either mobile phones or the PDAs. So if you have a mobile phone or you got a PDA, depending on that, what kind of profiles layer you will have. You will have a mobile information device profile, you got a mobile phone. If you got a PDAs, then you got personal digital assistant profiles. But you got set-top boxes, then you need CDC, connected device configurations, and then we have the profile layer, which is on top of the CDC, that is the personal foundation profile. And then after that is the personal basis profile and personal profile. So there's a lot of profiles on the top of them. They are used for the CDC based devices, but in case of in the CLDC based devices, we have either the MIDP or either the PDAP, and we could have other packages also on top. And if you talk of the MIDP mobile information device profiles, then you could see a lot of stuff here. You may pause the video and read this out so that you understand what are the features here. And the package which I was talking about, which are common to the J2SE and the J2ME, they are the MIDP based APIs, that's Java IO, Java Lang, and Java Lang.ref and Java.util. You must be knowing all these guys, but we have also some packages which are not familiar packages to the J2SE. They're only specific to the J2ME. And the bundle of packages we got here is like Java micro edition.io, micro edition Java X, micro edition.lcdui, lcdui.game, media control, midlet.pki, and RMS. We will be dealing a lot on RMS later on. And we have the two important files when you actually build your MIDP application. One is the jar file and the is the JAD file. Okay, the jar file, it contains all the classes and resources with the application. Everything what you have is in a jar file. Actually, it's a Java archive file. It says everything what you have made, all resources and all. But the JAD file has actually the information about the jar file. So it's telling about the things about the jar file, as you could see here, how to run the MIDP application and all. Okay, so basically when you build your MIDP application, you will have two files, one is the jar and one is the JAD, right? And JAD actually means application, Java application descriptor, and jar is the Java archive file. So what we have in a JAD file, it's very simple non-XML configuration file. It has the first application name, the MIDI version, what is the MIDI version, what is the copyright and version information, location of the jar file. I mean, this has the information about the jar file. The basic thing is jar file, which has the actual things, but JAD file is telling about the jar file, that what type it is and how to run it and all. Okay, before we discuss about the actually make a first project in the NetBeans of the J2me, I would like to discuss about the Android based phones. We got Android, which is really kicking. You know, it is an operating system by the we can say it's by the Google, but it's actually by the OHA, Open Handset Alliance. It is the Open Handset Alliance. It's a consortium of a lot of companies, and it's led by the Google actually, which developed the Android. They have a special bytecode in the configuration, okay, and what is called as the DEX files. So you need a DX tool to convert. You need a DX tool to convert into the DEX files, and then you need to convert them into the Dalvik executable files, because we have what in a configurations, not your KVM what we had usually, kilobyte virtual machine. We have the Dalvik virtual machine. So let's discuss a bit on it, on this topic. So what I'm talking of Android, okay, here we go. This is our Android. It's actually a Linux based, with Java program interface. It provides a lot of tools like compilers, like debuggers. Okay, we got compilers, we got debuggers, we got device simulators, and it has its most important thing is it has the DVM inside, which is Dalvik virtual machine. So it's not having a JVM, so which we used to have Java virtual machine in case of Java SE and Java E, and in case of your J2me we have KVM, we have discussed it, or CVM, but it has its own what's called Dalvik virtual machine. So if you have the Java source code, then the class files, actually not source codes I'm talking of, the Java class files or bytecode. So if you got a bytecode here, this is my bytecode, this is having a normal class files. I can't run it on the Android based system because we have the Dalvik virtual machine, so I need to convert that into the .dx, and this is done by the DX tool. So we have DX tool which does all this, and then we need to convert them into the Dalvik executable file, DEX, Dalvik executable file. This can be run by the Android applications. Okay, so Android based OS. And also we have in Android a packaging structure. We have another tool what's called AAPT. So if we have here, for example, a Android application, now this is my Android application, this is Android app, whatever, and I need an AAPT, Android access packaging tool, which packages the Android application into the .apk, that is Android package. We do not have the other guys here, like we have normal Java packages. Here we have Android packages, so we need to convert our Android normal Java packages into the Android packages using the AAPT, that is Android asset package tool, Android asset package tool, yeah, right. Okay, so Android is really kicking. It has a lot of features and all, and we can discuss for a year's time on Android. But I would like to, before I start running my J2me program, my project on NetBeans, I would like to tell you about the thing that which is countering the Android based phone, because J2me actually you can develop the Java application for the Java based phones, but there is a twist from 2010 onwards, and basically in 2011 now, this year we had a little twist as we got two big giants doing something different. Now we got two big giants. One is saying like they are saying that they have the devil inside, okay, and you may got my point that we got the Intel is saying something inside. The Intel inside is the biggest chip manufacturing company, and on the other side we got the guys, if you think that this is a hand, not a vegetable or something, okay, this is another hand Okay, they are trying to say that they are actually connecting people, and if you got the hint, it is the Nokia. So Intel and Nokia, basically they were working. The good news is they're working on an open source operating system. So first time something from Intel and Nokia, something open source. And what we have in the Intel, it was working on a project which was called as the as a mobile Linux. They were actually trying to make a Linux based applications operating system basically on the on mobile phones. So that's called a mobile. And in Nokia was also working on a project what's called as Mayamo. If the pronunciation is right, I don't know. It's called Mayamo. Okay. And Moblin and Mayamo, they're working together, but when they see the Google catching up and shattering their dreams, so they start a joint venture, right? They forget their inside, they get out of the box, the Intel people, and the Nokia also trying to connect inside the box. They also get out of it, they shake their hands. Now the hand was here, okay. Is it hand? Oh my god. Whatever, the Nokia guys and the Intel guys make a joint project and they name it as Migo, and this is the N9. N9 is the phone which was launched in this year, a couple of months before I guess, which has the first Migo operating system, right? So what I want to tell you is that the Java is kicking and all, but we are having the other players also in the field, so you got to be aware of these guys also stuff. So it's time to work with the NetBeans IDE to develop our first project. So I say file, new project, and J2me mobile applications, because I want to develop mobile application, not the card and W or web or other guys. I can do other things, a lot of things you could see here in the NetBeans, but I'm on the develop mobile application. So I say next, and here I will name it something like I name it like Blessing. The project name is Blessing, whatever. And you could see here this is set as a main project, that I am setting this project as a main project, because if I hit a run button, it's gonna hit me, it's gonna run me this project only, because I could have lot of projects in my open, but it only this project will be run. And I'm saying here create hello midlet. This time I'm telling him to create the hello midlet, but later on we'll develop everything of our own, so we'll unchuck it all the time later on, but the first time I will let it be chucked and see what's going on. Then I say next, okay. And here I can have the profiles and configuration selection, CLDC 1.1. You have to check your phone that what kind of configurations and profiles you're supporting, so according to that. And you can also do a device selection here. Of course, my favorite one is touch phone one, but you can download your like your mobile phone exact replica of your mobile phone emulator, so you can have that. For example, you got C6, Nokia C6, and exactly you will have a Nokia C6 emulator, and like that. And this is SDK 3.0 and emulator platform. And the beauty of this NetBeans is that it has everything intact. Otherwise, in the previous NetBeans, we had to install all separately, everything separately. Okay. Then I will say next, and it gives me the configurations, and I will say finish to open my project here. So you could see here the hello midlet is coming up. Okay, in the flow it's showing me what's up there. And if I say screen and let me say for the source, if you could see source, and we have a lot of things in it. If you could see, we have the package hello, we have the Java micro edition dot middle dot asterisk, because they are the package which we need to import. I told you these are the J2me specific application packages we need to import them. and then there is a lot of things here which you can see when you run it, when you do the same, which we have to deal with to understand all this. It takes a lot of time because it's a lot of things here going on. We have to explain each and everything, and if you could see that every lot of code is being generated by NetBeans itself, so you don't have to do anything here. And okay, now if you could see the get string here method is here, and you want to edit something but you can't because this is in a gray, it's non-edited code. So you go to if you want to change we have the setter methods here somewhere. Let me see. And if you could see here, this is my get string, which is actually going to show up this thing, and I want to change it, but this is, we can't edit, right? So how to edit, I will show you how to edit it. But what is running behind the screen, there's a lot of things going on, so we'll discuss it in the next video or lecture. But here I would like to first change it, this hello world message, into the salam. But the salam is better than hello, because assalamu alaikum means peace and blessings upon you all, and I mean, this is assalamu alaikum means, the salam means peace on you all, you're right. Al alaikum means on you all, so it's a better way of greeting than hello, because hello is just a hello. But here as you could see that it doesn't update, because after I write assalamu alaikum, I need to press enter, right? Otherwise it will not show up. Are you getting me or not? You can change this hello also to the salam, and like that. Okay, again not changing because I have not pressed the enter key, so I'm doing mistakes by myself also. Now it's time to give it a go. If I run it, you could see here a emulator mobile phone will come up, and it will show us this information. So it's actually initializing the J2me SDK 3.0, so it will take a little bit of time, but finally it will come. And here we go, here's the touch phone. Okay, and it's saying me welcome, and then it's saying salam. That was this what we have written here. Then assalamu alaikum, the message will come here. So this is our first program. But before I exit, I'm gonna tell you one more thing, that if you want to run this on your mobile phone, for example, okay, let me exit it. What you got to do is you go to the my documents. So you go to my documents, and in my documents, right, if this is my documents folder, you got the NetBeans projects, and in project you got a salam. I named it blessing. Actually I named it blessing. In the blessing we have a lot of things. So in the blessings, if you say source and hello, you could see here the hello midlet.java. This is my source file, but I want to install something on my mobile phone, so I got the distributed folder, and here got the jar and jar. You just copy it and send it to your mobile phone and just install this application, and you will see this application will run on your mobile phone if your mobile phone supports that configurations and profiles what you have selected at the time of creation of this project. Okay, so I think we got a good introduction of the J2me. Now we are good to go and unravel all the technicalities of the J2me. So better luck for your J2me.